All right, now let's actually solve our problem. So our problem again says Flora cuts a rectangular sheet of paper into two pieces on the dotted line. This dotted line, when I look at this dotted line is cutting this paper exactly in half. Would you agree? Because it's going from corner to corner. It is cutting this paper exactly into two equal pieces. What is the sum of angle A and angle B? That's the question that our problem is asking us. Well, think about it. This was a rectangle. We know that the degrees of every rectangle's corner is 90 degrees. And when Flora cut the sheet of paper, if she's cutting it exactly in half, which she is because she is cutting it from corner to corner, she is not just cutting the paper exactly in half, she's cutting what? The angle exactly in half. So that means that angle B is exactly half of 90 degrees, and angle A is exactly half of 90 degrees. Well, what is half of 90? What is half of 90? Stop and think about it for a minute. You can pull up your calculator tool on your Chromebook, divide 90 by 2. What is half of 90? If you haven't figured it out yet, pause the video until you figure out what half of 90 is. So half of 90 is 45. All right, so that means that angle B is actually 45 degrees. All right, and that means that angle A is actually 45 degrees. So in order to find the sum of angle A and angle B, we would be adding 45 plus 45, which we should know equals 90. Now let me tell you what we're doing right here. This is calling decomposing angles, all right? We took one larger angle, this angle here, and we broke it up into two smaller angles. Those two smaller angles there, all right? That is called decomposing angles. And when we decompose angles, in order to break them apart and create two smaller angles, we have to add them together to find the sum of the greater angle. Sometimes when decomposing, sometimes with decomposition problems, they're going to give you the total of the greater angle and only one of the smaller decomposed angles, and you have to find the other smaller angle. So sometimes, in that case, you would have to use subtraction. If they give you both of the smaller angles and they ask you to find the sum of the greater angle, you're going to have to add those two smaller angles to get the sum of the greater angle. All right, so let's work some more with decomposing angles.